Thank you, Kavya, for your presentation. I am someone who went through the cloth pad and then to the cup. And switching to the cloth pad was actually really easy. Let me tell this from experience. Switching was very easy because of how well they've been designed today. It's not just, you're not folding up cloth and putting it in. So it's really well designed. I'll tell this to you as a user, as someone who's used. And then I shifted to the cup. My experience with the cup, it took me 3 months to adjust. And one of the things that the cup requires from you is an intimate knowledge of your body. You really have to get in there. Like, this is, you really have to be comfortable with putting your fingers in, getting it out, shaking it, and then, of course, the first few times I was very worried because I thought I'd lost it inside and I had to go to the hospital and get it out. It is. This is because we haven't been taught enough about our bodies and we haven't been taught to be comfortable with our bodies. The idea of putting it in itself took me like some 3 months to get over. Like there's that mental block there. But once you get over that, tell yourself, okay, if a baby can come out, I can put this thing in. You tell yourself that for 3 months and then put it in. The fact that you are in connection with your body, you know, to embrace it, it took me time. So, of course, there are many health benefits about being comfortable with your body, which Dr.Gita Arjun will now talk about. So, I'll hand over the mic, which I don't think is working.
My husband calls me a loudmouth, so I think I can manage without a mic till it comes back. So, no, it's definitely not okay. Yeah. So basically, I'm not going to give you a medical lecture on periods. The fact that there are women here and some men, and the men have to deal with the periods also, because I know that the men in the family get to the point where when you're freaking out about something, they're looking at each other and saying, oh, it's that time of the month. So whether you're freaking about at any time of the month, you get that look. So just to start with, I want to tell you, all this maths we were doing, what percentage of Indian women actually use disposable pads? What do you think? 30%? Any other number? 12%. So it's 10 to 12%. And that's the thing about India, and this is what MNCs love about India, is we are 1.3 billion of us, right? So, okay, they really don't want me to talk.
We can continue, we can hear.
And I always, right from the beginning, see, remember, it's not just these menstrual pads. It's baby pads. Now everybody, my maid takes her baby out, she uses only a diaper, okay, a disposable diaper. There are adult diapers. So we have lost the battle. There's an avalanche of plastic diapers, okay? So we start off as little baby girls wearing disposable diapers, and we become young women wearing baby diapers, and I'm not far off from wearing adult diapers, okay? So we are talking about this huge avalanche, all right? So now we did our job, my husband and I, from the time Ashwin was born. We did not use disposable diapers. We were in the United States. Pampers was it, but we insisted on using cloth diapers. Continue to use that for our for our daughter. So that it's a decision that you have to make. Now, coming to cloth diapers and switching to disposable diapers, again, I'm old enough, Kavya, to know what that feels like. Okay, we did not want to be in school with cloth diapers. It was disgusting. It was terrible. No way of getting rid of it. No, I mean, you could see through your clothes. It was horrendous, okay? And then if you leaked, that was it. You're covering with all kinds of things. So it was a disaster. So disposable pads were amazing. They were fantastic. They were such a relief, okay? But the thing is, now what we have is a completely different, very smart cloth diaper. And I know that everybody who's used disposable diapers, it's not infection. It's just that plastic abrading, causing pain, causing itching, causing, as she says, using up too much of the moisture, absorbing too much of the moisture. So you end up with itching. So it's been a disaster also. But in a way, it was 100% better than the old cloth diapers. But now there is no excuse for not using this. But where are we losing this battle? The government, who should actually be pushing these kind of things, is doing this huge campaign about providing women, young girls in corporation schools and government schools with disposable diapers. So we have to educate the government, not just our women, okay? So the reason that all of you are here are you're basically more aware, more concerned about the environment. But if you ask a girl in a young girl in a government school in, let's say, even Tandalam, just 30 kilometers from here, or in Padapai, only 20 kilometers from here, what is she going to say? I don't have water to wash my clothes. Why are you asking me to use this thing? Give me these disposable diapers. So we have to get to the point where we not only engage them in the fact that these are healthy and healthier than plastic, but we also have to engage them into what's happening to the world, and for themselves, locally for themselves, we have to make it easier. Okay, we have to make it easier for them to use cloth diapers. So this is a huge social issue that we're using. If you don't have water, how do you wash cloth diapers? Okay, so we have to get over this. And the second, and the most important thing is the shame associated with periods. It is culturally so deeply involved in our entire traditional culture that periods immediately is a taboo subject. You're dirty at that time, you can't enter the house, you can't enter the kitchen, you can't enter a temple. Even though the Supreme Court has said we are clean, men are still saying we are unclean because for 3 days of the month we have periods. Okay? And you see, I mean, and the way men behave, now if you go on the road, if you're taking a drive anywhere, on the side of the highway, you see 6 men getting off from a bus, standing in line, having a pissing contest almost, but they are not ashamed of what is also a biological function. But we, women, constantly have this shame associated with it. So why would we be worried about having a cloth diaper? Because the embarrassment of having to take this back in our bag, having our husbands or brothers or father knowing that they've got bloodied cloth in our bag. So I think what we're going to hear from what you're going to talk about, how you have taught Sneha, I think it has to start from there. It has to start from the fact that we have to stop feeling ashamed of this. We have so many words. We never said I'm having my period in school. We said we said everything. Oh, I'm not well. You told the male PT teacher, I'm not well. No, you can still play. Why can't you play? No, sir, I'm not well. So it was that shame. So I think that is where we have to change the way society looks at it. And therefore, definitely the cloth, and I think the cup is definitely going to make a difference. But again, in India, with the whole thing about virginity and keeping the girl a virgin till she is married, no parent is going to say start using a cup. I was growing up, tampons were available, but very few. I mean, I would say less than 0.00001% of girls who were not married were used tampons. So no parent is going to say go ahead and use a cup, because one, you're worried, and then what if she gets an infection, which doesn't happen. But that fear, you're putting something inside the vagina, if she'll never have babies if she has an infection. And what are women meant for but to have babies, right? That's the biggest thing that's kept on us. having a baby defines us as a woman, unfortunately. So those are the things that worry, and I think socially we have to make, and this is, you are also already doing this awareness thing in villages, in schools, in those kind of places, not just urban areas, because urban, I think we have lost the battle. Think about the amount of plastic waste you generate in your house every day. We segregate in my house. We have kitchen waste separate, we have paper waste separate, and then this plastic, avalanche of plastic which comes into the house, I don't know what to do with. Okay, you open your bag of vegetables, and I carry my disposable, your regular bags, not disposable bags. I don't use plastic, but still it sneaks in, right? So we have to make a difference, and I think education, and most importantly, taking away the shame from this whole process. My entire 3+ decades of practice, one of the things that people would come to me for is, doctor, can I have tablets to postpone my period? What for? Oh, my sister's getting married, I'm getting married, I've got a puja coming up, we have to go for this temple. This is a very common thing. And from day one, the day I started practicing here in 1981, my response always was, no, you don't need to take hormones to postpone your period, because you're messing up with your own normal hormonal cycles. And I said, why don't men go to the toilet in the morning and then go to a temple? How are they not considered unclean, but we are considered unclean? So I think the social thing is not just to for the cloth. I think we have to teach our daughters that they can walk into a temple whether they're having a period or not. It's a normal function. And I mean, Supreme Court has made a noise about it. I think till we change that concept that we are not unclean, periods are not an unclean thing, I think till that changes, that whole myth and mythology and the bad stuff surrounding periods and cloth pads and everything is not going to change.